Good morning, friends. I am doing 11:11. Yes. Good morning, everybody. Yeah.
Get the word out.
Hey, good morning, Karen. How are you? Good to see you here this morning. You doing well? Amy, good morning. I'm sorry you didn't go home with a kayak. Derek, good morning to you. Hope you're great. So. Good morning, everybody. How are you? We'll give a chance here for a few people to come on in. Yeah. We're both on the side of the road. Yes. That's fine. Yes, the great and famous Marcucci's. Good morning, John. How are you? Good to see you here this morning. So, all right, we'll give it one more minute and let folks come on in, and then we'll get going. Good to see everybody this morning. Good morning, Donna. How are you? Good morning, everybody. How are you? All right, friends. We will get going this morning. I am so glad that each one of you are here on this, the 15th day of July, on another 11:11. I am out standing in my field. I'm out standing in my field. No, I'm out standing in the parking lot to the brilliant and wonderful and very famous here in Fall River, Marcucci's Bakery, where our folks and our part of our journey of lifting up the good in our community is that our missions folks who are standing over here behind me. Say hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, gang. Hello. And then and a few others, Ken and Denise, that have already struck out. We are, you might have seen the Facebook post on our Facebook page earlier this week, off to deliver sandwiches to all of the first responders, firefighters, and EMTs in the city. We wanted to buy them lunch. We brought a plaque to them over this on Monday that and presented it to the chief and in recognition of the work that they have done over this last year and what that has meant for this community. And if you want to consider how perhaps anxious you've been over the course of this year, what you've been negotiating, imagine these families that are responding to sickness, that are responding to people in crisis, and then on top of that, having to negotiate all that this year has brought. So we in the church saw this, and we wanted to recognize it and lift that up. And so by virtue of that, our folks they've got their trunks literally full of sandwiches and are headed out to provide lunch for our folks in the city, our first responders all over. And part of this is I wanted to share with you today just a little bit of what I shared with them when I spoke with them on Monday, and the opportunity for us when we gathered with the chief and his command team, and it's our hope that they'll kind of relay that their commitment to that those sentiments to their folks as well. But I wanted to share it with you today because it's a part, I think, of how we understand our world to work. There are three kinds of people in this world. And we might go from category to category, but in our society, there really are three kinds of people. There are the builders. There are folks for whom they do all the creating. They wipe every nose. They teach every class. They become a part of the world and a part of all, and bake every loaf of bread, make every sandwich. Oh yeah, no, that they do all those things that is a part of this world. And yet, in order to do that, and then there are people for whom are the takers. There are people for whom they for whatever reason and whatever ways, and they're not just people, but they're forces that we've borne witness to in this last year. The very forces that would tear apart our society, that would tear apart our ability to see each other face to face. That all of those forces that would come to break apart our world as we see it and as we know it. And then the third is those folks who stand in that gap. And the first responders here in Fall River are a member of that community. They are a part of the people who would stand in the breach between all of those who would build and make and do and create all the beauty in this world, and all of those who would, and those forces, that some of them personal, some of them impersonal, but in all the ways that would come to tear those apart. And they, when buildings catch fire, don't run from them, but run into them. And when people get sick, they don't run from them, they run to them. And so we wanted to honor that because, Jesus' words are never more prescient, that no greater love has anyone than to lay down their life for their friends. And Jesus calls us friend. He calls us our friend, and he lays down his life for us. This model is at the heart of what our responders do. It's at the heart of even what we do and what we do in the work of our days, the work of our craft. We give our time, talent, and our energy to doing whatever we do in the building of the world. But those who stand in that gap to protect it, those who stand in that gap, it's vital. It's vital. It's critical that they be recognized by you and I, the ones who would stand in that place of receiving, of being able to build, of having enough security, enough ability around us to be able to build something. And so today we want to recognize that. That's what our folks are that are over here are doing, and that they're standing here listening to me. And I didn't expect that, so that's really fun. That we're a part of this, and that we are a part of this journey. That we're a part of this journey of not just of not just building our world, but also safeguarding the edges of the world, and safeguarding, and because this is the thing. Those who stand in that gap, those who stand in that place, those who are a part of that from the forces of chaos and the dragons and the monsters of the world, and those who would be in the city and would build and create, and to those people who stand in that gap, they contend with the monsters of the world. They contend with the leviathans. They contend with the deep. They contend with the horrors. They contend with the hard things. And they cannot nurse those wounds themselves. They cannot bear that weight on their own. It is ours who benefit from their labor and benefit from their work, who is simply to notice and to see and to lift up and occasionally maybe buy a sandwich for those who stand in that breach. So friends, that is our task today, that we as the church in a formal and real way not only has offered a plaque that they can hang on the wall and that they can touch. What the chief did when we presented it on Monday, he did this wonderful thing, is he brought his whole command team and he asked that they put their hand on it, so that it wasn't just this moment of like, oh, here's the thing, but that his whole command team came in and put their hands on that plaque. And then our missions chair, Deb Boterin, read that to them. And they got to hear those words of what it was for them in these days, what it was in them in this life, what it wasn't for them in these times, to be seen for what they have done. And that in that, they might know that they do not labor alone, that when they respond to a call at 2 a.m, they respond with us, with them. So, friends, it is my hope that you will hold your world and honor that those who would stand in that space and simply lift up that which has been offered to you in this world. That when you pick up the telephone, people come. That when you are in crisis, there are people there, and that those folks desperately need. They don't need your admiration. They don't need your laud. They don't need your praise, but they do need you to notice, because they do need you to see them, because they bear a great weight. They bear a great burden for you and for I and for all the goodness of the world, that they might stand on a wall on which the other side are in fact monsters. Remember Jesus' words that no greater love has a person than to lay down their life for their friends. So go lay down your life a little bit today, friends. Go offer it up to someone, whether it is your creation and beauty and you as a builder, or whether maybe you are one of those people who stand on a wall and stare down the monsters. But notice that, and call the good things in your life friend, and maybe go get a fantastic sandwich. These guys are great. They're the best sandwich, other than Marzilli's, for all you Marzilli's fans, because, that's like, you don't want to take, like Democrat, Republican, you can take a stand on that in Fall River, but don't take a stand on Marcucci's and Marzilli's. You'll get yourself in trouble. Yeah, exactly. So I eat them both. Can't you tell? Like, it's glorious. Yes. So, all right, friends. Peace and grace to you. It's been an amazing week of ministry here at First Congregational Church in Fall River, and we'll be worshiping at 9:00 on Sunday morning. It's my hope that you'll be that you will know that there are those who fight monsters for you, whether you know them, met them, see them, encounter them, but they stand there, and that we might lift them up and honor them on occasion. And so our folks who are right over here, hey everybody, they're about to go deliver some sandwiches and fill some bellies, and not just offer some ham and cheese, but to offer some noticing, that those who would stand in this place have been noticed and been seen, and that they are called friend, just as Jesus calls us friend. Peace and grace, friends. We will see you next week at another 11:11.
Bye.
Bye.